Greetings, everybody. Michelle Black here with the Kingdoms Group, representing the Kingdom Travels on today. And today, yes, I know I'm a little late, but a few of my client consultation meetings ran over. But today is Q&A with Kingdom Travels. Yes! This is the premiere of Q&A with Kingdom Travels, where we want you to reach out and ask all the questions that you have regarding traveling. We want to be able to just answer all your questions regarding traveling. So we will be doing this every Thursday at 7:30. I think I said 7:30 on the thing. So Q&A with Kingdom Travels every Thursday at 7:30. So let's go ahead and get started, because some of y'all have sent in and gave us some very good questions. Now, we're not going to answer all the questions tonight, okay? I'm not trying to let this be a long Q&A, but we're going to go over at least the top 3 questions that are very important for everybody today. So you have joined us. This is Q&A with Kingdom Travels. So let's go ahead and get started. So our first question is a good one. I've been getting a lot of these lately. It's from Miss Corinne. Thank you so very much, Miss Corinne. She said, where can I go that does not require a passport? All right. So I am going to answer your question, but let me let everybody know, even though these are places that do not require a passport, and these are some very good destinational places to visit that does not require a passport, but just know you need to get a passport. You never know what will happen that will require you to travel internationally, and it requires a passport. So with that being said, where can I go that do not require a passport? So I hope you have your pen and paper ready, because we're about to give it to you. Okay. It's 20 places. All right. Just to let you know. The first place, the U.S. Virgin Islands. Which U.S. Virgin Islands can you travel to? St. John, St. Croix, and St. Thomas. All right? St. John, St. Croix, and St. Thomas. Those are the U.S. Virgin Islands that you can travel to. All right? Now, the next country or destination is Puerto Rico. There's 3 places in Puerto Rico that you could travel to without a passport. That is, I know I'm saying this wrong, so I'm just going to spell it. V as in Victor, IEQ as in Queen, UES. Viques, Puerto Rico, Culebra, Puerto Rico, and San Juan, Puerto Rico. Those are the 3 places in Puertoริco that you could travel to. Now, the next place is British Columbia. That is a great place to go skiing. Great place it's in Canada. Other Canada locations is Quebec City, Canada, Toronto, Canada, and Cape Breton Island, Canada. As we also know, you could travel to Alaska. Very beautiful place to travel to. Yes, it's a little cold, but sometimes certain time periods is not as cold. And there's a place called, and you probably didn't know this, San Juan Islands, Washington. It's a small segment of an island that it takes a ferry to get to. Probably didn't know that. And we all know about Key West, Florida. You can also go to Mexico, Bermuda, and Curaçao. Y'all, let me spell this for you. Curacao. You can also go to Belize, Guam, and we also know the beautiful destination of Hawaii. In addition, another place that you could go to is called American Samoa. Now, there is a destination where it's just Samoa, Beautiful. Oh my goodness. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But we also have a place called American Samoa. You can also experience the heart of Polynesian and Samoan culture in the 5 volcanic islands that make up the territory of American Samoa. That is a place to go. You can also go without a passport to the Swans Island, American Samoa. Now, if you're feeling adventurous and you travel to the Swan Islands in American Samoa, one of the territory's 2 atolls, which is really a coral island, this place, which is called Swan Islands, American Samoa, is between Hawaii and New Zealand. And you could go there without a passport. Last but not least, you could go to the Sapan Northern Mariana Islands. Now, if you had a last option for a tropical vacation without a passport, Sapan is one of the 14 lush Northern Mariana Islands. It's a U.S. Commonwealth, and the Micronesian paradise has been called America's best kept secret. Okay? All right. So thank you, Corinne, so very much for that wonderful question. A lot of people don't know that you could travel to a lot of places without even having a passport. But we also know that some very good places and most kept secret places do require a passport. So here at Kingdom Travels, we're always going to recommend that you get a passport. Now, hold on real quick. Let me do something. As y'all could probably see in my thing, I have three screens. But anywho, all right. So let's see. Next question from Corinne. She would like to know, what are the passport requirements? Listen. Passports, y'all, you might as well get them. And the passport requirements, whether you're getting a new passport, you're renewing your passport, or you getting a passport for your children, varies. The passport's requirements are very detailed now, and we're going to go over that with you. So, if you're wanting to, hold on, where is it at? Let's just start with brand new passports, okay? If you're getting a brand new passport, you're pretty much going to have to go in person to a passport acceptance facility. However, please note that Kingdom Travels, we help you to put your passport package together because it can get a little confusing. But if you're hands-on, just know the basics of this. You would need to complete the application. You would need to get 2 passport photos, which has detailed instructions. You would need to get a birth certificate. And you would need to have the following fees, which we'll go over. Okay? But that's pretty much it. You will have to schedule an appointment. And you have to go in person with your ID. With your regular ID, your driver's license. And if you had a name change, and your ID don't show that, you need to bring your marriage certificate or any legal document showing your new name change if it's different than your driver's license. All right? All right. So, hold on one moment. Let me see. I forgot to cut this light on. Let's see if it'll work. You know how you get new stuff? Oh, there we go. All right. So, okay. So, anywho, that is pretty much what it is. You have to go in person with a new passport. All right? You can't mail it in. And speaking of mail-ins, you can mail in a passport application if you're renewing it. Let's go over the renewal logistics. Okay? If you're renewing your passport, you will have to complete an application. You will have to get 2 brand new photos. You will have to attach your original passport book or card, however you see fit. And hold on one moment. Your passport booklet has to be in good condition, and you would have had to have been issued a passport within the last 15 years from the time that you're renewing it. And last but not least, if you have a name change again between, so say for instance you was non-married, so you got your maiden name on your original passport, you got married, you will have to bring in your marriage certificate and attach that as well to show your name change. All right. Believe it or not, with the renewals, you just mail it in with the money order for the fees. That's it. Now, depending on if you're military or something of that sort, then there is a different aspect of renewing your passport. And it's also technically a different aspect of getting a new passport, because if you're military, they'll probably do that for you. All right. Now, let me look at my questions. Oh, and even with the name change, besides getting married, if you got divorced and you want to go back to your original name, you need to bring your divorce decree too. Sorry. Just want to make sure that y'all knew that. All right. So let's talk about getting a passport for your children. Very detailed, guys. Very, 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 very detailed. All right. So your children have to have a passport application filled out as well. You have to provide documentation, birth certificate showing U.S. citizenship. You have to bring also a photocopy of your child's citizenship evidence. Now, you also have to bring their birth certificate to show parental relationship. This is where it gets sticky. Okay? These are requirements. So mom and dad, names on the birth certificate, however you see fit. Because later on, if both parents' names is on the birth certificate, unless you have legal documents showing you have full custody, you have to get the mommy or the daddy's signature to give that child a birth certificate, a passport. You have to provide parental consent. And there's a lot of other steps regarding a child's passport. I'm just giving y'all the logistics, the main points. And in addition, the passport fees for children varies versus an adult. And just to let you know, passport fees for a child is $80. For a passport card is $15. And for a passport book and a card is $95. Now, that's just for the passport. You do have to pay an administration, let's just say administration acceptance fee of $35 for whichever type of passport that you want. All right. So those are the requirements for a child. Now you'd be like, Ms. Black, well, what is the processing time? Right now, the processing time for passports is 10 to 12 weeks. And if you're just coming in, we're doing Q&A with Kingdom Travels, and I'm answering the questions that have been provided to us. So the passport regular time is 10 to 12 weeks. If you want expedite, it's 4 to 6 weeks. Now, let's say you have a life and death emergency, and where you need to travel to is internationally. Well, you'll contact us, and we will provide you the service of life and death emergency service. And the turnaround processing time for you to get a passport with the proper documentation that is required is 72 hours or pretty much 3 business days. Okay. Now, say that you have an international travel plans, urgent international travel plans within 72 hours, then we will handle your services where your passport request will be expedited. But this is a in-person at an agency. And the processing time for that, once you show your proper documentation and they approve the reason for urgency, you receive it within 72 hours or 3 business days. But just know that the appointments for this type of passport is very limited. So you better have a good reason you need to do a urgent international travel. Now, like I said, expedited is 4 to 6 weeks, and regular is 10 to 12 weeks for passport processing. So if you're traveling to Jamaica in August and you haven't gotten your passport yet, you may be changing your travel dates unless you're doing expedite. Okay? All right. So now, there was another question. There's other questions. I may go over those a little bit more later on. Oh, let me tell you the passport fees for an adult. Passport book is $110. Passport card is $30. Passport book and card is $140. The acceptance fee is $35, and passport renewal is $110. If you want to expedite it, it's an additional $60. Now, that doesn't include wherever you're going a visa. So just know Kingdom Travels will let you know where if your destination requires a visa. But the visa is additional services, additional steps, and an additional fee. All right. So thank you for Corinne for providing that question. Now, Miss Pamela Norris, thank you so very much. She has a wonderful company. Y'all need to check out Ice Buddies. Trust me, you will want to do that. Actually, Kingdom Travels will be providing that product to all our travel clients because it's a great product that you would need, not just for traveling, but just traveling within your car when you go in different places and stuff. Trust me, Ice Buddies. You need to check it out. And we are also the official travel agency for Ice Buddies, which is a good thing. Hi, Miss Pamela. Okay, do companies that travel a lot need to get an ID number? And what she mean is, we all know like American Airlines, Delta Vacations, United Airlines, you have, I'm going to say frequent flyer miles, okay? If you are a company, the company doesn't need, how can I put this? Everybody that travels pretty much would be getting their own individual frequent flyer miles membership. Okay. So for an example, I did a lot of corporate traveling. However, the executives that I booked the travel for, even though they worked for a company, they all have their own frequent flyer mile account. So every time we booked a flight in their name, guess whose frequent flyer mile went on that reservation? Theirs. Because believe it or not, they use them flying for the company, doing business to build up their miles. So to answer your question, the company does not have to have an account because only one person account could be on each reservation. For an example, Marriott Bonvoy. Your name has the name that's on the reservation has to be the name that's on the Marriott Bonvoy account. I can't use, say, Kingdom Travels has their Marriott Bonvoy account. I can't put my name on your reservation if the name on the reservation doesn't match the Marriott Bonvoy hotel, booking frequent flyer account. So technically, no is the answer to your question. Everybody that will travel within your company needs to have their own account because majority of the travel suppliers wants the name on the reservation to match the frequent flyer miles name that's on the reservation, that's on the account too. I hope I answered that question. Because that's a little sticky. You'd be surprised how some people be trying to use their frequent flyer miles on somebody else's reservation to build up their miles. So, but yes, no would be the answer because everybody will have their own frequent flyer mile account when they travel within your company, even though they're doing business traveling and business work. All right, Miss Tierney, you did a very good question. How does COVID affect travel freedom? Well, if I had answered this question in 2020, travel was shut down. That's how it affected it. But now that We are in another year. It's been over a year since COVID. COVID is not affecting traveling now because of the vaccines, 1. 2, you have to wear a mask everywhere you go when you travel. That's still going on. And 3, social distancing. I would definitely say that the hotels, airlines, everybody is still implementing the CDC guidelines and the COVID social distancing mask and all that. So now I could say COVID has not affected travel freedom because everybody's traveling now. Okay? Everybody is traveling now with their mask on. I just finished, I had a clients that did their honeymoon and they had a good time. Because when you're traveling, when you're outside, mainly some people, they don't wear, thank you, Tierney. Some people, they don't wear the mask when you're outside, but when you're inside, you have to. And the CDC and other places, depending on the business or wherever you're going, they're lifting the mask if you're outside. If you're inside, you have to wear it. And some people are not letting you wear it. So your travel freedom right now, Tierney, is great when it comes to traveling. Your travel freedom right now, I'll be with you in a minute, son. Your travel freedom right now is great. Okay? Because everybody's being vaccinated. And when I say, guys, the travel suppliers have taken every precaution. I'm booking a hotel. And I always read the logistics to see what they're doing for COVID. And they literally, if you check out on the 20, like say for instance, you checked out on the 3rd, that room and their system will not be booked until, so say for instance, you checked out 12 p.m. on the 3rd. Well, after 12 p.m. on the 4th, that room will be checked in, or the 5th. They literally wait between 24 to 36 hours before they book that same room that you just checked out of to make sure that room is clean and disinfected. That's one way that these hotels and resorts are doing. Okay. So overall, you could travel, guys. You really can. If you're vaccinated, you really could travel. Because now they're saying if you're vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask. Okay. But it's everybody's decision on if they want to wear a mask or not, even if you have been vaccinated. And if you're just joining us, this is Q&A with Kingdom Travels. We're answering all the questions that we have received from each and every one of you. So, Tierney, you also asked another good question. You said, when traveling with kids, do they need the COVID tests? Yes. Everybody has to be tested if that particular destination requires a COVID test. And that's another question. The COVID tests have to be fresh 72 hours before your departure date. 72 hours. Okay? So you would take your test, and a lot of these COVID tests now, you're getting them the next business day. But wherever you're taking your COVID test at, just make sure you know when the delivery of the results will come. Okay? And even if you travel to a destination internationally, like I had a client that came from Mexico. Some of the travel suppliers, the hotels and resorts, are giving their customers free COVID testing. Yes. So you want to make sure, because Kingdom Travel is definitely going to make sure, you want to make sure that wherever you go, especially a hotel, that you're able to get a free complimentary COVID test. Because guys, these COVID tests are expensive. If y'all saw the prices that Mexico was charging just to do a COVID test, we're talking about $150, $200, $300. So make sure that even if you're doing your own booking, wherever you're staying, they provide you a complimentary COVID test. All right. So the children needs testing too if you're traveling to and fro. Vaccinated, people are asking, are the children required to be vaccinated? According to CDC, It's recommended that all children 12 and older get vaccinated. Right now, none of the vaccinations are for children 12 and younger. So when you're traveling, I would strongly recommend you get with your pediatrician, let them know where you're traveling to, and get their professional medical opinion. This is Q&A with Kingdom Travels. If you're just now joining us, welcome, welcome, welcome. So yes, all children that's traveling internationally will have to have the COVID test. But for as vaccinations, only children's 12 and older have to be, or is recommended to be vaccinated. As we all know, it's not required to be vaccinated. But children's 12 and older are authorized and able to get the vaccination if that is what you would like to do. Now, if you have a child and you're traveling and they have an underlying medical condition, get with your child's pediatrician. Yes, they're able to wear the mask and all that, but overall, get with your child's pediatrician. In addition, I know Kingdom Travels does that, but if you're doing your own booking your travel, wherever you're going, see where they're at for as their COVID levels. If you're a cautious person, see where they're at with the COVID levels. I know when we check it, we'll tell you, you can't go there because right now the COVID levels are too high. All right. Each country is different, everybody. I know America said they got 67? No, it's Biden's goal to do 70% vaccinated, but all the other countries may not have that many of their citizens vaccinated. So just know whoever you use, or if you're doing it on your own, you check the COVID levels. All right. Now, one question was from Miss Monica Hernandez. Thank you, Monica. She asked me to talk about travel etiquette. Listen here, you everybody. Y'all have been seeing a lot of folks getting in trouble on these airlines. Most recently, somebody punched a flight attendant. Come on now. If you know you're going to be drinking, be limited with your drinking. They stopped selling alcohol now because of that. So I'm assuming the flight attendant getting punched was due to a person drinking a lot or being, drunk, point blank. But not just with the drinking or the alcohol. And if you just joined us here, this is Q&A with Kingdom Travels every Thursday at 7:30. And we're talking about travel etiquette now. Wear your mask. Come on, guys. I flew New Year's Eve. I flew to for a church service for New Year's Eve. And they, both ways, going, they escorted a Caucasian woman. No. Coming back, they escorted off the plane a black man. Why? Because they wouldn't put on a mask. Guys, come on. I don't want to wear a mask. But I wore my mask. Why? Because I spent my money to go travel and fly somewhere. Okay? Travel etiquette. Wear comfortable shoes. Wear comfortable clothing. Bring a jacket. Bring your mask. Do not drink before you get on the airline. If you're going to drink, purchase a drink on the airline. Okay? Don't be drunk. If you got a child or a baby, make sure that they have a clean diaper on, they just been fed, and rock their bust to sleep. Because we do not want to hear no hollering child. No, this is really travel etiquette. Really it is. You got a little toddler, get that tablet, put a show on, put them in that seat, and put some headphones over their ears, and let Mickey Mouse, Disney Plus, or whoever keep their attention. Travel etiquette. Make sure you got all kind of snacks for the kids and even including you. Because y'all know a lot of these flights now, they've eliminated the peanuts and everything else. We're talking about travel etiquette now. This is a Q&A with Kingdom Travels. Let's see. Oh, and let me say this again. Wear your doggone mask. Please don't act a fool with the flight attendants. They're just doing their job. Because all you're going to do if you act the fool is going to hold it up. They're going to go get the cops. And y'all already know these flight attendants are on edge. Come on. They're ready to kick somebody out. Because everybody's been vaccinated, they think they don't need to wear their mask. Listen, the rule still goes. Airlines, mask. Airport, mask. Even when you're walking around, mask. Only people that don't have to wear a mask are the kids. Other than that, adults, mask. These flight attendants are probably itching to kick y'all off the airplane. Just be nice and quiet. Why not do this? Get y'all playlist, travel etiquette. Get a playlist. Put your earbuds in your ear and let that playlist play you from the time you walk on that plane to the time you disembark. How about that? Keep your woosah calm. All right? That's travel etiquette, guys. Okay? Make sure you have everything in place. Be on your best behavior. It don't make no sense. Listen, the flight attendants are going to tell you once, and they're going to tell you twice. They may not even tell you twice. They just, after the first time, if you don't act right and you giving them mouth back, they just going to kick you off. Just do as they say. Show them that they're important. Okay? All right. So, those were some very good travel questions. I hope, so if you have any questions for next Thursday, because I have more that I'm going to go over next Thursday, but I wanted to go over the main ones that's been going on in the world and that everybody's asking or questioning. So if you have any travel questions that you would like for Kingdom Travels to answer on next Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, feel free to private message us on Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram. In addition, or you can email us the question at info@K as in Kappa, A as in Alpha, S as in Sam, LLC.com. It was an honor and privilege to be with you on today. Thank you so very much for viewing this and joining us as you have heard your answers with Q&A with Kingdom Travels. Again, everybody, be blessed and know that Kingdom Travels is ready and prepared to serve you. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.